Hey everyone, it is Paul here, back in the world of Minecraft, and we're gonna jump back into the Let's Play. So, the last episode was 15 days ago, I believe, and I did say I was hoping to get one of these up once every 1 or 2 weeks. It is just over 2 weeks, so my apologies for that. Um, just had a really busy week last week in work. I was in the office all week, which is not something that I usually do. I usually work from home. Being a programmer, most of my work can be done remotely, which I'm very thankful for. But just had some work to do in office last week, and I was just so drained when I came home from work that I had no energy to get on the computer. It was literally come home, tidy up the house, feed the cat, and then cook some food and sleep. And I was kind of wondering, how did I go about so many years of my professional career working in an office? It really was only when COVID came about that I started working remote. A few of the first companies that I worked at straight out of university allowed you to work from home, but you had to have like a reason for it. Like, I've got deliveries coming, or I have to go to an appointment. And then when COVID came, I had joined a new workplace that was just completely remote. And then after I left that job, again, it was pretty much the entire software industry for the most part was remote first, which is great. And it was only really last week going into the office every day that I realized that it was so mentally draining and physically draining as well, because I don't have a super long commute, but I had to wake up an hour earlier, and then I got home like 30, 45 minutes later. And for me, it's strange actually. Just being around people in an office again was very mentally draining to me. Like, not everyone was really nice. I really like my team at work. Everyone's quite, as we would say here in Ireland, quite sound, quite dead on. But just the idea of being switched on all the time, like I feel like when I'm in my little office in the house, I can just close the blinds, and just work. And if I want to go and take a break or whatever, I can do that. But when you have a lot of people around you in the office, I find that kind of mentally draining. Maybe it's just the way I'm wired as a person. People say I do seem very extroverted, and I don't mind being around people, but I very much prefer my own company. Um, so yeah, it was a busy week last week, and that's really why I wasn't able to get a video up. But this weekend has passed, and it is Monday now that I'm recording this, and I feel a little bit better. I'm actually off work today, and I wanted to get this video up because I am going away for 5 or 6 days tomorrow and will not have access to any internet device. I will be completely offline for 5, 6 days, believe it or not. No internet, no technology, no gaming, no talking even. I'm actually going away on meditation retreat, and I try to do this once or twice a year just because I find the retreat experience really beneficial to deplug, to sort of get away from the worldly life, as it were. Get away from work, get away from the normal hustle and bustle of being a human being in this modern world. And yeah, it's pretty much 6 days or 5 days. I can't remember. It's the way it lines up with the timings. But yeah, it's I think like 10 to 12 hours a day of meditation. Which is good because I think in the past sort of few months, I did go on a retreat in April. I found that really beneficial. But the issue that I have is with the daily practice, and with meditation, it's a bit like the gym where you have to do it every day consistently, or you lose those gains that you've been working on and building up over the past however long time you've been working on it. I will say though, I'm sure people that go to the gym understand this, where sometimes you go to the gym after a long time and you get back into the groove really easily, or at least I found that. I find the meditation works the same way. Like, you have these mental grooves in your mind of doing these practices over an extended period that, just don't go away. Like, if you read into the neuroplasticity of the brain, um, the whole neurons that wire together, fire together, or neurons that fire together, wire together. I got that wrong. Our brains can be changed, but there are these deep grooves in the brain of just these mental habits that we have reinforced over the periods of our life. And, you can train good habits and you can train bad mental habits. Nobody's perfect. We all have things to work on, but doing this sort of daily practice of sitting meditation every day, 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 minutes, maybe sometimes. Sometimes when I really get into things, I would do like an hour a day, 2 hours a day, maybe. And then other times I can barely find the time for 10 minutes. So that is my Achilles heel, so to speak. It's I'm gonna chop down this big tree here while I'm here. Just tidy up this area. I think this episode is just gonna be a bit of tidying this area, maybe digging down, getting some food sources on the go. As I said, my Let's Play was never intended to be the best, most efficient min-maxing guide to Minecraft. It is just about a little bit of talking, a little bit of casual Minecraft, and I hope people enjoy it, because it's definitely a different sort of take on things. I had a lot of people in my last episode that I posted saying that, it's nobody really does this type of content on Minecraft anymore in 2023. It's kind of a shame, to be honest, because it's kind of, this style is what got me hooked on the game back in like 2010, 2011. Just the casual, chill approach to things. And, things have changed and people have moved on to different things. But that is the type of style that I intend to take this Let's Play in. So, yeah, thanks. Thanks for all the feedback as well on the last episode. Again, I do not take these things for granted. I have been away from YouTube for around 6 years now, pretty seriously. Like, not really have done content, and I think the last episode I posted 2 weeks ago was now sitting at 10,000 views, which is insane. Insane that the videos that I put out can still reach that amount of people, even after all these years. So again, my extended thanks to anybody who watched that. I really do appreciate it, and lot of old faces in the comments, which is cool to see. Like, even after all these years, I noticed there's a few people in there, who've been who I've been in contact with and seen their name about for like 10, 12 years now. It's kind of crazy how the world moves on, but people are still there. So thanks very much, and yeah, I'll try and keep up the videos where I can. At least that's my plan, maybe once a week. But yeah, I was talking about the retreat that I'm going on, and how, my Achilles heel is the consistency. Like, I'll always get into periods of like 6 to 8 months of being really diligent, and then something will come up, whether that be a curveball in life, health issue, drama, work, things like that, and it'll just throw me off my routine a lot. And the meditation just goes, and it's a shame, because I feel like out of all the things that I do, it is like the number one habit, when done consistently, that significantly improves my quality of life. And a good reframe that I once heard from a monk is like, it is the most important thing in your life to do this practice. And I think it's only really apparent when you do it for a long period, like how much it influences your worldview and your ability to act and speak in the world. Just because you're there pretty much for everything. Like, I don't think until you have a pretty diligent meditation practice, let's say 30 minutes a day of 6 months, do you realize the reactive nature of the mind and how much it gets caught in thought, and how much it dwells in thought and inflicts a lot more mental suffering on itself than it needs to. So yeah, I'm really thankful to have the opportunity to do this retreat tomorrow. Even though I'll be totally honest, like a couple of days ago, I was like, I can't be bothered. Like, I just can't be bothered doing this. I'd rather just have a week off playing my Switch. But I know a couple of days into it, I'll be thankful. So yeah, I've booked the entire week off work, and then next Monday as well, because I find it takes a day or two to really get back into the flow of the real world once you're away. Very sensitive mind once you come out of silence for a week. So yeah, well, most of you guys are watching this. Maybe tomorrow I'll be in no technology zone, so I'll definitely do a video when I'm back next Sunday or next Monday on how it went. I tend to not have any expectations going into these things because a lot of my first retreats I did in my mid 20s, I was like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna have really good meditation. It's gonna get really blissed out and really serene and peaceful. And then day one, you're like, this is hell. This is hell. Get me out of here. What have I signed myself up to? So I will not have any expectations. Although you can get into these really, really nice, serene, blissful, concentrated states, but they are conditioned states and they don't last. So you're really training your mind to be equanimous and just to see things as they are. So I'll let you know how that goes. What else have I been up to this week? I have had a wicked sinus infection this week. Sadly, I don't know where it came from. I've had issues with my sinuses for 2 or 3 years now. I've seen a bunch of doctors, ENT, neurologist. I thought it was a wisdom tooth that I had that I got pulled. That was the issue because it was a bit infected, decayed because it didn't erupt. And I got that pulled last month, but sadly that has not been a silver bullet because about 2 weeks later, I got a pretty bad sinus infection, which I have been battling with, which hopefully is on the way out. It would be nice to get it completely gone before I go away tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. And that's really just been something that I have been working with. It's kind of sad in a way that you go through like a lot of your teenage or younger years, teenage years, early 20s. And then I'm starting to get to the point now where my body is just getting like I'm not an old man by any stretch. I'm 30, but you get to the point where you start to get a little bit more colds and flus and little injuries and things like that, and you realize like I'm not young anymore. I'm not old either. But the aging of the body, the natural process, that is very much apparent in I am not 20 years old anymore, and it's something you adjust to as you go through life. Have to fine tune like how you operate. Like for me, I do a little bit of DJing. I don't know if you guys know that. Some of you do. Some of you don't do a little bit of DJing, mainly like drum and bass, jungle. Really love any sort of breakbeat orientated music. And when I go out, I have to be very tactical because if I go out and I drink alcohol, I will be pretty much wiped out for 2 days. Like I'm not a huge drinker either. I'll have like 3 or 4 beers, and I will very much be hungover for like 2 days. I know that sounds pretty severe, but I just have a really sensitive body to alcohol. And you're probably like, oh, why do you drink then? And I ask myself that same question. I do like the taste of a nice craft beer. That's kind of my issue, but also the social aspect of seeing friends and stuff. And it's only once every 4 to 6 weeks that happens. So there's a middle ground there of like maybe just having one or two and not completely getting wrecked. And it's strange because I won't feel like super drunk or anything, but I'll have like 2 beer or a couple beers. The next day I'll just be like, oh, I'm so hungover. Even if I drink like electrolytes and things before bed, so maybe I'm just super sensitive to alcohol. Is what I think, but that's one of the things that I've noticed, like the inability to actually drink beer anymore. Maybe it's something I cut out entirely. Who knows? Or a lot of alcohol-free beers going around nowadays, which is nice. We have a nice Guinness Zero here in Ireland, which tastes pretty close. So yeah, just getting older, noticing being more tactical with energy. Like energy management is super key to me right now. I like getting up and really prioritizing those first sort of 6 to 8 hours of the day because that's when I have my peak energy levels. I was meant to plant those seeds, didn't I? Probably going. I'm gonna get a big wheat farm going here. So I gotta be tactical with that. Um, so the sinus infection I was talking about, yeah, hopefully that's on the way out. I used to have it really bad 2 years ago. It has slowly been getting better. Just one of those things I've learned to live with, having really messed up sinuses. I wake up pretty congested, but most days it sorts itself out. The running is a big help. Using like a neti pot is a big help. I'm sure people that have sinus issues know of that. um, this past week, I've also been playing a ton of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I know I said last week that or 2 weeks ago I had bought this game on release, and I have not played it at all. I had not played any game seriously, but I bought a really nice 55-inch OLED TV about a year ago, and it's literally just been a Netflix machine, which is kind of sad. So I finally booted up the Switch again, and I've been playing that, and I've just beat like the first temple, the Sky Temple, I think it is, and I've got about what, like 20 dungeons beaten, 20 shrines beaten. So it's been really nice to play. It's really nice just to get immersed. I usually crank the volume full blast and just sit there and get totally immersed in a world. Um, I did enjoy the first Zelda on Switch, and part of me does kind of crave one of those old school experiences of like Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time, where you have an entirely dedicated temple with puzzles and stuff. But I understand like the game is much more uh, consumable to a lot of people, having this open world, smaller puzzle style dungeon games with the big boss fights. But I hope there's like a middle ground in a future Zelda game where they have these big puzzle style temples, and also the shrines. I know they have a kind of with the Sky Temple and stuff, but part of me misses like the hardcore sort of dungeon style that they had before. It's been a great game though. It's been really enjoyable to play. I love getting sucked into like open worlds like that, and I'll definitely complete that when I'm back from retreat, which will be Sunday. So I'll just chip away at that. But I think I'm about maybe 12 to 15 hours in at the moment. And I saw the completionist version of the game is like 200 hours. So I'll definitely try and max that out. But there's been so many games on Switch. Like, I bought my Switch when it first came out, and I got the first Zelda game. And I pretty much picked up Smash Bros, and that was it. I don't really have any other games I said that. I have Pokemon Shining Pearl, which I didn't complete. I have Pokemon Shield, which I didn't complete. So I have a lot of games to catch up on. I noticed they released like Metroid Prime Remastered. They released Okami Remastered. Love Okami. Really need to replay that game. So there's so much of these games that I haven't played to sink my teeth into over the next sort of 6 to 12 months, because I hear that Nintendo are working on the next Switch console or the next console. I hope they just do something like a Super Switch. I hope they don't tack another gimmick onto it like they did with they always have a unique selling point, don't they? And some of them can come across as quite gimmicky at times. But I think they've really perfected their place in the market with a Switch. So all I really would want is an upgraded Switch, with better graphics, maybe a few other bonus parts. I think that's a great sort of middle ground. Sadly, in a way, I don't think we'll ever see another uniquely handheld console from Nintendo. Like, I think the Switch really fills both the gaps in the market, which is a shame because I may be on my own saying this, but my favorite Nintendo console was actually the Game Boy Advance. I actually spent so much time in my youth on that games console. Sorry, and I kind of sad not to see handheld gaming anymore like how it used to be. But I understand the market's moved. Game is a bigger industry now. Mobile games have also taken over a huge chunk of the industry. So, it's one of those ones where things have changed and you move on with it. But I do like my Game Boy Advance. I actually have been toying with the idea of collecting a few of my favorite Game Boy Advance games, complete in box, just to have a copy of them I do have a few old. I do have a few old Game Boy games. I think I have Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow in the box, complete in good condition. I have a few old Castlevania games from the original Game Boy, Castlevania Adventure 1 and 2 in the box. So I have quite a lot of stuff. Do you follow me? Because I have seeds. Oh, you do? I did not know that. I thought you were wheat. So we will get a bit of a chicken farm going over here. But I was looking up on eBay recently on the sold listings, and the prices of some of those games have just skyrocketed. Like, I bought a lot of my retro games back in like 2012, 2013. So I was wondering, like, what happened to the retro gaming market? It has just exploded in popularity the past decade. And I was looking to get a copy of Pokemon Fire Red or Leaf Green, and it's like 50, £60 for just the cartridge, which is crazy to me. You know, complete in box is like £150. But I guess, you know, there's a huge nostalgia driven market of gamers now, especially for Pokemon. You know, it's kind of shot up in popularity. I think the hard thing for me to wrap my head around with gaming is that, you know, having been a gamer since the mid 90s, gaming was once this sort of niche hobby that only like a small percentage of the population did. And I think now that that population has gotten older, you know, like people that were gaming in the 90s, are all now in their sort of 30s, 40s, more disposable income as well, so they can spend on these retro games to relive their childhoods. But also, gaming as a whole is just a lot more popular nowadays. It went from being this sort of niche, obscure hobby in the early to mid 90s. I wouldn't say obscure, but it was a very much small part. Like, you were looked at as a bit of a nerd being a gamer in the 90s. Compare that to now, where like pretty much everyone is playing games on their phone. Like, I know my parents play games on their phone, or you know, my cousins who really wouldn't be huge gamers are now playing like Switch or PlayStation. And then games are just being published a lot more. You know, there's huge amounts of games printed. Like, I have a copy of Skyrim for PC from like 2011, complete sealed, not even opened. I think the reason was I had bought this game. I'm gonna try and find another chicken, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I bought this game and I wanted to play Skyrim day one, and the shipping just didn't come on time, so I ended up just buying it digitally through Steam. And then the game showed up and I forgot to return it, so I have this copy of Skyrim sealed. And I was like, oh, you know, this must be worth a decent amount of money. I looked it up, it's like £20. £30 less than what I bought it for back in 2011. I know it's only been what, like 12 years, so can't expect that much. But I just feel like there's been so many games printed from like the Xbox 360 onwards, that sort of generation, that it's a lot cheaper to collect in a good way. You know, it's good. It's good you can access these games cheap now. But just looking at the retro game market, like, so much of that has inflated. And I think it's due to the limited print copies back in the day. You know, games obviously weren't such a big thing. So I might pick a few select titles that I want to have just for collection's sake. You know, I do have probably about a dozen boxed Game Boy Advance games, like Golden Sun, Metroid Fusion, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I love the Mystery Dungeon series of Pokemon. I honestly think it doesn't get the props it deserves. I think some of the soundtracks on those games are amazing. Need to find a chicken here, man. Come on, where's the chicken? What else I got? I got Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem, those classic games in the series. A few more I want to collect though. Like, I think they have a Link to the Past on Game Boy Advance. I know you can buy all these games pretty easily on like the eShop, Nintendo Shop, but something about having a physical copy always has appealed to me. I mean, I'm a big record collector as well. I went down the rabbit hole pretty deep with like obscure 90s drum and bass, and I have a big record, one of those Calax IKEA shelves sitting next to me, a 3x4. And I must have pretty much 70% of it filled, maybe. You know, probably have upwards of I'd say probably 1,000+ records in there. But yes, I did go down the rabbit hole pretty deep with that over the past couple of years, record collecting, mainly because a lot of those labels went bust, and the only way to get the files in good quality was to actually buy the record and rip it yourself. Um, Others I just wanted for collection purposes, like limited press in the 90s off some UK independent label that just now went bust. And some of those compilations would sell for like 100, £150, and I've managed to pick it up cheap for like 50 or 60. But I don't know. I maybe will sell some of those off over the next couple of years just because I want to keep the ones I really like, and then use the others to sort of rebuild or buy newer collections. But I know if I go down the retro games rabbit hole, I will end up having an entire room of like Dreamcast games and obscure like Japanese Super Famicom games that won't be released in Japan. Like I'm one of those people that I'm sure a lot of people are like this, but when they go deep into something, they go very deep. Right? I need to find a chicken here, man. I can't go through this entire episode when you have only one chicken. So let's go here. So yeah, I've been digging recently for those retro games, and strangely enough, my latest interest on YouTube has been watching people go to car boot sales and buy stuff and then flip it. Not that I would ever do that. I just find it interesting how much rare stuff is out there. There's a wolf. Ooh. You guys remember I used to have Santos and little Smokey Weenie, my old dogs in Minecraft. Maybe name those guys. Alright, there's gotta be a chicken around here somewhere, man. Come on. I will not end today's episode until I get one. This is one of those original Minecraft soundtrack pieces that just sticks in my mind of the early game. Very nostalgic. Speaking of game soundtracks, I have been listening to quite a lot of them recently. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole of listening to like classic JRPG soundtracks from PS1 and PS2 era, and there are some really good tracks on there. Like, I think I really like video game music. For similar reasons, I really like drum and bass music and like jungle music and basically any sort of 90s dance music, because the actual sort of formula to those tunes are a bit more not variable, I should say, but there's a lot of experimentation in it. Like a lot of video game music, you can't really pin down to one genre. It's a lot of experimentation, a lot of sort of 90s hardware being used, and then the limitations of actually working within it didn't really matter so much when you got to like the PS2, but for a lot of early games like on the Super Nintendo or N64 or Game Boy Advance, you were really working within like a limited memory capacity. So, oh, chicken, you had to that's my base way over there, man. It's gonna take forever to get back there. You have to really be unique, and I think like constraints. What is that? A frog? When did they add those? Strange. It kind of enforces creativity, the boundaries. I find that with like a lot of early 90s dance music, there was only really 8 or 16 channels for people to work on. And if you look at like a modern track, a modern sort of drum and bass or house track, there'll probably be upwards of like 50 to 100 layers of tracks in there, whether that just be like ambience, background effects, automated stuff. Automated stuff, yeah, that's a good one. Automated effects or just random one shots that people have worked on. Whereas, 8 or 16 channels, like you really got to be creative to what you put in there and kind of enforced creativity. And I find that like with games as well. Like you look at something like Pokemon Gold, such a big game and such a small cart, in terms of the memory capacity they had on there. I actually did find my original Pokemon Gold cartridge not too long ago. It's pretty beaten up. The label's kind of peeled off a bit, and I think the internal battery is long dead by now. But it'd be interesting to kind of try and get that in working order and replace the clock. Or the concept of, not the concept, but the idea of like restoration of old consoles or modding Game Boy Advance sort of era hardware is something I've always wanted to get into, like putting a new backlight on like a Game Boy or modding the case. Stuff like that would be something I'd definitely be keen on getting interested in over the next year or two and trying out, but don't know where to start really. I need to buy something too. I do think handheld gaming did peak with Game Boy Advance. Just the portability of it, the amount of games on it, and oh no, creeper. I wonder if it would be better if I went home to sleep. I don't have any wool on me either. We'll try and get this guy as far as we can here. Hello. I'm kind of fearful. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get this guy up here. Put him down there, and then we'll come back for him. It's just I don't want to get blown up by the creeper. So where were we? Talking about limitations in music, limitations in game programming as well. It's always been a sort of aspiration of mine to code. I don't want to go into games development, but I find those who do very very inspiring, to be honest, because I work in software and programming. I mainly just work on web apps, to be honest. But to me, like games programming seems like such a tough industry to work in, and it's pretty noted that there's crunch time in games industry. You know, making release dates, but also the pay is nowhere near as good. Well, nowhere near as good. I don't know. It depends where you work, I suppose, but it's pretty. From what I hear, it's pretty obvious that the salaries are like 20-30% lower than working just in generic software programming. So, you know, you got to be dedicated towards your craft to do that. But at the same time, you know, as I get older, like, and I'm speaking from a point of, you know, I understand I'm very privileged to work in a very sort of lucrative job, software. But as I've gotten older, the idea of like, you know, I'm never really gonna earn. Oh, creeper to my left. I'm gonna die. Come on, 4 hits and it's still not dead. What? It's 5 hits? Did they really buff these guys? I'm not sure. Where did that? I have no idea where my chicken went. Yeah, I was talking about as I've got older, you know, I'm not like, unless I win the lottery, I'm not gonna like gain a huge amount of money to retire like anytime soon. I think I've understood that. What the hell is this guy? Like I will be working pretty much until I'm 50, 60. I've accepted that for the most part. I have no idea what that guy is. There's a lot more stuff underwater here as well, I've noticed. But I've often considered, like, would I be happy taking like a 20, 30%, 40% pay cut in order to like work in an industry that was, you know, more aligned with stuff I enjoy. Going back to my last video where I talked about like, you know, I truly believe that there's a very small amount of people that get to work on something they're like truly passionate about, and for the rest of us, it's a job. I know you're fed this idea by the jobs industry, my modern society, like, you know, find the dream job for you or find your passion. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna find my passion in writing enterprise business code. Like, I've accepted that as a fact. That is not my passion. Software programming, like it's a means to pay the bills, really, for me. I've said that before. Like, the people I work with are great, and at times it can be very mentally stimulating programming. What the hell? I was like, how did I put my shovel in there? I know I need to get a shield. It can be very mentally stimulating at times, But as I said, it isn't something I wake up and want to backflip out of bed to do. It's a job. And for the very small amount of people that get to a point where they can actually do something they're genuinely passionate about, like, very envious of you for one, but also it's something that I've been looking at, like, 10 years from now, what I want to do. Probably still work in programming or some sort of software development, but is there software out there that really speaks to me, or, like, you know, is there a job out there? A gardener, maybe? I'd love to be a gardener, but I'll have to probably wait until I'm 50 to do that. So I don't know. I honestly have no idea what I want to do career-wise in my life. Like, probably just keep on writing software. And if something comes up, something comes up. But yeah, the people do make a big difference. And, my current job is pretty good for that. I can't really complain. So that's why I have a lot of respect for people working in the games industry as programmers, because I understand, not everyone's going to be working on, like, Zelda, or not everyone's going to be working on, the next big game. For the most part, you'll probably be working on, like, Just Dance. Not that Just Dance is a bad game, by the way. It just doesn't appeal to me. So a lot of the time, you probably won't be working on stuff that, like, you're like a huge fan of. That's part of working in a big industry like that. But maybe I have, like, grass is greener syndrome, where, like, I think the next big thing is going to be better. I'm not sure. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I think I'm just trying to look ahead to the future, like what I want to do in 10 years. And I'm not really sure. I just having a wee thought here. We got the chickens on the go at least. Let's get this wheat farm a lot bigger. Make it a lot bigger at least. Probably not the most efficient way of doing it either, but we'll live. Maybe go and become a monk, will I, guys? Go and shave my head and go and live in a monastery. To be honest, I have had thoughts of doing that once or twice in my life. Maybe just romantic ideas of getting away from the world. But unfortunately, wherever you go, there you are, right? You bring your mind with you. And so, ultimately, regardless of the situation that you're in, it is something to be practiced with and something to learn from. That's how I kind of look at most things in life. Anyway. Okay, so what other item that I have to talk about in my list? Usually note a few things down that I want to talk about. What I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to do like a cross, or like a cross pattern here for these. I need to get more seeds though. They must have really nerfed the drop rate on these seeds. I'm not sure. Let's see. I think I've got most of them over here, but anyway, we'll just punch this grass and hope something pops up. Going back to the 20-30%, like, would I take a 20-30-40% pay cut to work in, like, an industry that I loved or that I enjoyed more? Maybe, but I don't know what that industry is yet. That's the thing. I don't know what that job is. I did enjoy the YouTube thing, don't get me wrong. It was a fun job, but isolation was a big part. So I'm not sure if I'd ever really go back to that. Maybe being self-employed as a contractor, like a software contractor, be something to look at further down the line. But what I also would do is, if a company offered me to take a 20% pay cut to do like a 4-day work week, I would 100% jump on that, because I feel like weekends are just not enough to, like, mentally recharge for me. I find that, like, you're off on Friday, mentally exhausted from the week, kind of clean up the house and just become a couch potato, as they say, on Friday, like lie on the sofa, watch something or play a game. Saturday is like the chill day, just do whatever Saturday. And then Sunday, the panic resumes. I've got all these chores to do. And then I've got, work to look forward to the next day. So I think, like, I would take that maybe, 4-day work week. Because I do find having like an extra day off, even now, it's a Monday and I've been off a few days. I woke up today and just felt like so mentally restored just from not having to do anything today, which was great. Have to pack my bag for my meditation retreat, have to tidy my house, and have to go and visit my parents to give them some of my keys because they need to come up and visit the cat each day while I'm away to feed her and play with her. But other than that, not very much to do. And kind of reminds me, I don't know if a lot of people from the States had this or this long a holiday, but back when I was at school, from age 11 to 18, say, or even university, you had this big 2 or 3 month period in the summer where you had nothing to do. Just wake up every day, no life games, do whatever you wanted to do. Um, and then the longest holiday that I really get in working life is maybe Christmas, I would say. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for working in Europe. We get around 35, 36 days of paid time off a year, which is great. It's a month a year. I know it's a lot less in the States, but we could do better, guys. We can do better. Where's that 4-day work week? I know friends that work at companies of 4-day work weeks. Or I would honestly do 4 days of 10 hours if I could to get the Friday or Monday off. I just think that is just so much more mentally refreshing. But maybe an alternate approach I could do is actually going. This is the meme, pyro sleeping pattern. Before someone says it, but an alternate approach I could maybe do is actually having, waking up an hour or two earlier and doing what I want to do then. I think that actually sounds like a better idea for me. It's just getting up is the hard part, isn't it? I am like a demon the first 30 minutes of the day, guys. I've just accepted it as a part of my personality, to be honest. I wake up and I'm like, I hate life. And I stand there, or sit there, or lie there, I should say, in my bed for like, a good 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to get up. And I turn the light on the brightest setting. And my eyes just burn. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm up. I have to get up now. And then I go downstairs and have a coffee. And I'm fine. Like, I'm actually really quite chilled after, 20, 30 minutes. But that first hour of the day, guys, always a struggle. Always a struggle. It's just the way I'm programmed. I've accepted it at this point. Okay. So yeah, maybe an alternate solution, we should say. Okay, so what am I doing? I just need to get rid of all this, to be honest. I need to build this out a bit because I don't know how big I want to make this, but it's going to be quite big, so this will be like the farm area. Probably should get a better shovel, but we will deal with that when we come to it, won't we? Maybe one more. Also, I meant to talk about this earlier when I was talking about retro games. I've been in the process of actually acquiring a bit of streaming kit. It's been, jumping back on Twitch consistently is something that I've wanted to do for years now. It's just like never got the chance, and I think now I've got a bit of momentum and actually sitting down in front of a camera and a microphone and recording again. I'm gonna jump on it. So I got a load of Elgato camera stands. I've had those because I've had those for recording my DJ mixes with the camera from above, but I think I'll get a new capture card and maybe hop on the old Twitch because my plan is really to play through a lot of these backlog games that I have not played. And I think sort of the way that has moved is onto Twitch is a more sort of casual experience of just playing games. So I'm definitely going to get through, the Metroid Prime remaster. I also have been wanting to play Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. I did buy the original one on Wii and never played it. But I have been listening. This is a bit bizarre, but I've been listening non-stop to the Xenosaga 1 and 2 soundtracks. It's these Japanese RPGs that came out on the PS2 back in the early 2000s. Really good soundtracks. I've not played the games at all, though, and I hear there's a lot of cutscenes in that game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, maybe just spinning up the old Twitch channel, making like an archive channel to throw all the long playthroughs on. Who knows? It's been a while since I actually like played through a game in front of people. I have the Infinite Spring, do I? No, I don't. I've actually lost that. So let's get that going. But the Twitch landscape has changed so much, hasn't it, over the years? Like, I'll be honest, I couldn't even tell you who's like the top streamer on Twitch these days. I do follow like a few of my old pals on there. I know like Milby streams, Good streams, HC Justin, all those guys still regularly stream, which is cool to see. Like, I do pop on Twitch now and again, which is, as I said in my last video, it's strange because I was like one of the first 100 partners on Justin TV. I have like that OG status on there, but never really took advantage of it. So maybe hop back in there as a bit of a casual playthrough. Who knows? Of stuffs. Grab this. But yeah, I don't know. I know there was a few issues like ads and stuff or paid sponsorships a few months back on Twitch that people were going nuts on. You see, the problem is I used to get all my Twitch news from Twitter, or X as it's now known, and I really just don't go on Twitter that much anymore. It is kind of went a bit crazy the past couple of years, hasn't it? Especially the past year. So I've been trying to stay away from that. I use Instagram a lot. I did post my Instagram or talk about it in my last video. It's instagram.com/pyropunch, PYROPUNCH. I am usually quite active, posting all of my new records and games on my stories there. So if you want to see what I'm buying, retro game wise, or what I'm buying with my records, go and check that out. Probably not the most efficient way of doing this, by the way, I understand. But this was never an efficient playthrough, was it? It was me going a bit nuts. Okay, that is still. This must be a new track. I've not heard this one before. Is this wheat? Is this like fully? Oh, it is. Okay, that's good. So I can get the cows together now, which is quite nice. And I did get 17 wheat back. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that. Oh, nice Paul. Nice. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will do. Okay, that's that side done. I just need to do this bit. And then I'll get a few cows and we'll call today's episode done. This will be my last communication with technology for 5 days. I mean, it isn't even that long an amount of time, 5 days without technology, and then in my brain I'm already freaking out like, no entertainment for 5 days, no reading, no games, no TV, no, just sitting by myself, or not by myself. It's probably about 20 people that go on these retreats, eating in silence. We all eat in the same sort of canteen together, but it's all in silence. It's quite interesting going on those retreats, going in these retreats I should say. Definitely an experience for sure, and I'll definitely report back on it next week. Is that? Don't know what that is. Okay, so we do have the wheat now, so I will go and sleep in my little house. Definitely feels, I say definitely a lot, isn't there? There's always one word that I notice people have in their vocabulary, and for mine it's definitely. Definitely. Okay, what have I got here? Do I have anything? I have a bone. I could go and try and tame that wolf that I saw. Don't know what direction it was though. Was this way? Was it? We only have one bone. Is it really worth going? Let's try anyway. Unless I can find another skeleton around here. Creeper. Ow. I'm spoiled. by playing Zelda the past couple days because I'm just thinking like, where's my ability to like fly with a paraglider? He was around here, wasn't he? Oh, there he is there. Please, please work. No! You have to come with me. I'm gonna trap him, I think, and we'll come back and get him eventually. No, no, no! Get back in there. We will come back for you one day. No, get back in there, get back in. No, no! Oh man, he's doing it. He's running. He's running fast though. I feel so bad trapping him in such a small space, but we will come back for you one day. Can I feed can I like feed them raw meat as like a, or can you tame them with bones? I wonder if that has been changed. Speaking of meat, I am out of food. Did I get meat there? Okay, let's try and do this. Do they expire? I don't think this chunk will be unloaded, so I don't know if they'll expire or not. Is he tamed? No, no, no. Oh, he's escaped again. What have I done? Okay, hold on. Oh no, he's gone. Stop making this so difficult for me, dude. No, 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 no. Oh my goodness. Am I ever gonna get this? I doubt it. But I can't let this guy despawn. You know, I know after doing this actually. Edgar, he's there. I know he can't really do anything, which is a bit of a shame. He's there, okay. I see him. So we will put like a load of torches here. We know where he is. If we get more bones, we can come back. Someone's going to be like, he's going to despawn. And if he does, I will be devastated. But at least we know he's there. And we try to get him. What was I talking about before I went on the doggy or the wolf hunt there? Where's my giant pillar? There it is there. Need to get some food in my belly. Both in Minecraft and in real life. It is 1 p.m. and I have not ate anything all day. Very lazy. I always do that. Do I have a chicken? Egg? 3 eggs. Let's see if we're lucky. Ready? Nope. Sadly not. Okay, get some food. And then get the cows. And we should be good. There's a cow there. You have any food? Raw mutton. We'll cook that. You know, I like a cow farm with some uniqueness to it, so I think I'm actually going to do this. The cow farm will actually be here. I don't think he can get out there, can he? Man, I need to get some iron tools, I really do. I do have 1 iron. Probably not the most efficient use of my resources right now, but we take it, don't we? Okay, so I don't think if I do this, he can escape, right? Am I right in thinking that? My cat has just woken up. I can hear her. Hello. Hello. What do you want? What do you want? Oh, I feel so bad leaving my cat tomorrow for 5 days. I mean, my parents will come and check in on her, but she is so spoiled. How will she cope? Oh, there was a chicken up here all along. Oh, no, it's got out. It's got out. Damn. No, get back. Ah! Sorry, Kate. Oh, my goodness. I'm gonna... what am I doing? What am I doing? Sorry, Kai. You have to chill here, I think. Can it get in there? I don't even know. Why do I want to make a cow farm up here? Like, it's so impractical as well. I don't know. This is the way it goes, isn't it? I need to find another one. I will not end this episode until I have 2 cows. Come on. Gotta be someone. Gotta be somewhere. I mean, pigs would also do, but cows would be better, wouldn't they? Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Do you follow me as well? No, maybe not. Come down here. Enderman, hello. So yeah, anything else I need to discuss before we get these cars back? Let me put them here for now. Not ideal, I know. Make it a little bit bigger. Where'd the other one go? Don't know. Or it is there. Let's go. In. Are you also attracted by this? You are? Okay. Let's put the pig one here. We will make them bigger. It's just, initially, I would like to have 2 of each. Where did that pig go? What is there? Oh. It's seeds? It's carrots, isn't it? Did you need? Maybe. Okay, maybe it's carrots or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out next time. We have the cows. We have some wheat as well. Let's go and collect that. Oh, I really need to create ladders to get out of here, don't I? Efficiently. Oh, get in. Oh, no, they've escaped. Get in. Get in. There we go. Okay, yeah, let's get some ladders. I've destroyed like all the plants just getting that one piece. Okay. You know what? Since we've got another guy, this guy can go free. Go free! I don't know where you want to go, but go wherever. Okay. Ladders. I'll do. Making progress, but it will take a while, I guess. So, cool, we got this. Doubt there's much you can do there, but whatever. Light up this area as well, because we're going to get a lot of mobs spawning if we don't. I remember I used to be very tactical with my torches back when I first played Minecraft. Like, they had to be spread out in exact locations. Otherwise, the mobs could spawn. Oh, hello, baby zombie. Another zombie. Oh, yeah. Just playing Zelda. How do I backflip in this game? So, yeah, I think we're doing pretty well here. Oh, are they able to get out? Are they able to get out? With the shields? I'm not sure, are they? Hey, we got one spawned. Nice. Cool, so we'll keep that for next time. That's a decent enough little farm we got going on there. We've got some wheat on the go here as well. Plant these pieces. Looks good, and then we'll do that. And I think that is going to do it for episode 2. So yeah, the next time I speak to you guys, I will be back from my retreat. Let me know what you thought. Any questions or comments, I do read them all. And yeah, I'll probably do another video next. That would be what, Sunday the 27th? Or no, Sunday the 20th. Getting ahead of myself. Or Monday the 21st. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Do appreciate it as always. Hope you are keeping well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.